A pot of gold to end the recession.
The latest in spiritual name-changing.
An in-depth look at New Age hugs.
Plus a special focus on the power of intentions.
All that and Grania Holson with weather.
I'm Raina Satori.
And I'm Ronnie Kruzman.
And this is Fax News. In regional news, town officials up and down the Northern California coast emerged from a 3-day conference on the economy, certain the current recession would last at least 6 months, or at least until the Mendo harvest season. At that point, local leaders are confident that an army of body workers, landscapers, psychotherapists, and other haplessly employed young adults will make their annual pilgrimage up north to hidden basement trim rooms throughout Mendocino and Humboldt County and return excited to spend their sacks of unmarked $20 bills. A pot of gold that just could end the economic downturn.
In local news, Rachel Mendelbaum changed her name to Sequoia Shakti Mendelbaum in an emotional late afternoon ceremony this past weekend. Mendelbaum, 29, invited close friends to a naming circle in the town Redwood Grove to mark her transition. Though her friends were supportive of the move, her mother, Susie Mendelbaum, was disappointed in her daughter's decision.
I think they're all nuts. They moved to California and they all turn nuts. What's wrong with Rachel? That was a good Jewish name.
Sequoia Shakti says she's committed to holding space for her mother's feelings while embracing her own newfound prana power.
Shakti Sequoia!
Stay tuned for Fax News health and wellness correspondent Lily Amy Oglesby and meteorologist Grania Holson with the weather.
But first it's time for Fax News in depth. This week, a very special report we're calling Please Let Go of Me.
Our focus on New Age hugs.
With us in the studio today are somatic psychotherapist Kristen Fumarola and Fax News sports correspondent Jimmy Mayasis. Thanks both for joining us.
It's good to be here.
Now, Kristen, New Age hugs, healthy expression of love or desperate cry for help, what's your take?
You know, Ronnie, it's a fine line. It's really a complicated answer.
Well, let's look at this video here. I mean, it actually appears that this man believes this woman is his mother. What's your take?
I actually think that's an acceptable form of therapy, actually, to find random people on the street to work out your mother issues with.
Sort of repeatedly for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Quick and dirty. Quick and dirty.
Quick and dirty. If I mean, take a look here. This seems, he actually seems like he looks like he's trying to breastfeed. I mean, is that normal?
That is normal. That's what that lactating is actually what makes us mammals. And him doing that is a natural expression of his mammalian instinct.
Now, one of my favorites is the lecherous spiritual teacher hug. Mm-hmm. We have some video of that. Any thoughts on this one here?
Actually. Right.
Now you can see she really trusts him.
She's opening her, and then she feels something that's not quite right. However, she acquiesces and smiles. See, it's important to always go along with whatever your spiritual teacher is offering you or giving you.
Great, and then if we cut to the spiritual teacher here, he seems that he really enjoyed the hug.
Wow, yeah.
It seems as though he's benefiting from that in some way, yes.
Great. Kristen, another conscious favorite, of course, is the lecherous male body worker hug. I think we have some video of that. Any thoughts?
As a male body worker, you have a strength to you, you have a masculinity. It's good to share that abundantly with your hug victim.
Jimmy?
Well, there's two aspects to this game. There's the mental and the physical. This guy clearly has the mental aspect dialed down. He's thinking yummy. And whenever you make a hug look like you're having sex, I think you're doing an awesome job.
Hey. Now, another category I think interesting for us to cover, the whole bromance. In most of America, men might bump fists, they might potentially shake hands. Mm-hmm. Here in New Age places, we do it differently. Jimmy, what's your take here?
Good for them.
Two men on the field.
This is a tale of two halves. First half, they went East Coast, went all power and stamina. Next half, West Coast, more finesse. It was a great game overall. I'd watch it again over and over.
Great. Now there's one last hug I wanted to bring into the conversation here, and that's the A-frame hug or the block hug. I believe we have some video of that.
Yes.
Kristen, what's happening here?
Yes. You see that the lower chakras are separated, and the upper chakras, the heart chakra, actually is in alignment here.
Can you really call that a hug?
Oh, absolutely, Ronnie. That is a hug. It has some safe boundaries to it, actually, but that's completely appropriate, if not unusual.
Jimmy, you seem a little doubtful. What's your take on this from a sports perspective?
That technique is all wrong. You're supposed to bend at the elbows, not at the wrists. If I were him, I'd just pack up my bags, go to the East Coast, and be with all those other A-framers out there.
A little disagreement in the studio. Well, that's about all the time we have for this edition of Fax News in Depth. Kristen Fumarola, Jimmy Myasis, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Up next, Lily Amy Oglesby with our health and wellness tip of the week, plus Grania Holson with weather. I'm Ronnie Kruzman. This is Fax News.
Folks, I'm just back from San Francisco, where it seems that a massive marine layer, or fog bank, has completely engulfed the city. It's as if clouds are descending from the sky and just pummeling those poor people with mist and wind, and just a general sense of gloom and despondency. I mean, people are wearing sweatshirts in June. Now, our viewers might be wondering if this milky mist has any chance of penetrating Fairfax. Don't worry, folks. The massive love bubble that protects our town from inclement weather, as well as reality, should keep us fog-free for decades to come. This is Grania Holson, reporting for Fax News.
Joining me in the studio now is Fax News health and wellness correspondent Lily Amy Oglesby. Lily, what have you got to focus on this week?
Well, Raina, this week we're looking at getting what you want, shifting your thoughts and setting clear intentions.
Good.
Now, first off, one must look at one's thoughts. For instance, have you been saying to yourself, I'm a piece of shit and will never amount to anything? Well, friend, you have got to turn that negative Nancy train around. As I always say, Yi Dao, Qi Dao. Where the mind goes, the energy follows. As serendipity would have it, friends, self-help books, and movies such as What the Bleep Do We Know and The Secret entered my life and guided me in the right direction. They tipped me off to the fact that I needed to change my use of language and asking for things. For instance,
Really,
instead of...
Yeah, okay, how?
Well, can I have an awesome boyfriend? I needed to say, may I have an awesome
so
boyfriend?
grammar is very important to the guy.
It shows reverence. And another example is, I want my boss to drop dead. No. I desire that my boss drop dead.
Wow.
You see...
That's amazing.
And can I tell you why, Raina?
Yes.
Because desire tells the big guy that you are coming from a place of abundance already, whereas want equals deficit.
I see.
And lastly, speaking of abundance, remember to come from a place of gratitude when you're asking for things. Even if you aren't thankful for a goddamn single thing in your life, fake it. You see, this tells the gods, I'm already in abundance. I just want more, okay?
Well, thanks for joining us for another edition of Fax News.
Look for us on YouTube by searching Fax News Fairfax.
And be sure to join us again next week.
And look out for a special upcoming segment we're calling Get a Room.
Our in-depth look at Contact Improv.
I'm Ronnie Kruzman.
And I'm Raina Satori.
And this is Fax News.
That's a pathetic move. I've never seen them move like that ever in hugging matchups that I've all seen throughout my life, and I just gonna keep on going. But
It's actually suckling on her breast.
I think it's a pretty awesome move,
It's
actually.
a mammalian instinct, actually. It's good to follow through with and express yourself.
He just slam dunked that one.
Great note.
Now that point, when she grimaces, she's feeling something unpleasant, it's unattractive, she's not enjoying it, and then on the dismount, she regains her composure.
I messed up anyway.
You didn't mess up. You were great. That's the take right there. Oh, I want to cuddle with you.
Like a bird flies by and shits on my chest.
I think they're all nuts.